Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back, and we are playing the third chapter of Corpse Party, and we are fighting Miss Yui, and we're playing as Satoshi. Mustering all my strength I could, I gripped her with all my arms and tried to pry her off me, but she was a lot stronger than I anticipated and wouldn't let me go. Sob, I was so scared, Sukasa. I was so scared. Scared? I never thought you'd actually come. Whoa! As she squeezed me tightly, I felt as though my upper body might collapse under the pressure of the softer parts. I was blushing uncontrollably. Miss Yui, please let go. No, I won't. Miss Yui, come on. I shrugged to wiggle free, but Miss Yui only grabbed me tighter. Our bodies were getting more and more intertwined, and every time I squirmed, Miss Yui would just pull me even closer. Sukasa. As her chest rose and fell erratically, droplets of sweat slid down into her cleavage. I could feel the heat of her fever radiating off her steadily encroaching face, as well as her shoulders. I'd grab in an effort to push away. Stay here with me, Sukasa, please. I'm telling you, you've got the wrong person. Questions were swirling in my head. Why is Miss Yui crying? And who is this Tsukasa person? But I was most concerned for the state of her pajamas, which had become even more disheveled during our struggle. Miss Yui, your pajamas, your pants! They're sliding down. You're so warm. Miss Yui, please. Alright, realizing that not a single word was getting through to her, I sighed resigningly. I'd taken care of Yuka any number of times when she'd caught a cold and drawn a fever, but I didn't recall it ever being this bad. But Miss Yui was usually calm, collected, and rational. Who would have ever imagined that a fever could leave her so thoroughly discombobulated? Miss Yui, seriously pull yourself together. I put more strength into the resistance, and finally her arms relaxed just the tiniest bit, but her expression changed drastically. No, please. Miss Yui, I'm Satoshi Machida. This isn't Tsukasa. Please don't go, please. Miss Yui was acting like a spoiled child. Slipping out of the shoes I'd been wearing, I drew closer to her sprawled out form. There was no way I could just leave her like this. I'm sure, hope none of this too sketchy after your fever breaks. Seems too sketchy. Groan. Miss Yui let out a lethargic groan, perhaps in response to my quiet murmurings. At my wit's end, I grabbed a hold of her and did my best to carry her into the back room. Gently wheeling her over to the unfurled futon, I then carefully laid her down, making sure I didn't drop her in the process. Then there was a matter of rebuttoning those pesky pajamas again. I hesitantly put her pajama buttons and brushed away the stray hairs that were plastered to her brow in sweat. I'd done my best to avoid seeing any I shouldn't, but I'm a guy, so my heart was pounding the whole time. Miss Yui's pajamas was soaked through with sweat. She really might have been better off to change off her clothes altogether. But no, that would have been going way too far. Wish I could have just found a towel or something, so I could at least wipe some of the moisture away. Noticing a convenience store bag carelessly tossed to the floor, I glanced inside. Hey, she already bought cold packs. Why is she using them? Jeez. Miss Yui, this might be a little cold, but bear with me, okay? Alright, I think that'll help. I placed one of the compresses on her forehead and pulled the covers over her. Miss Yui appeared almost instantly relieved. She exhaled contently, and her breathing became more relaxed. Finally, she was asleep. Sigh. Groan. Even in sleep, Miss Yui seemed to be suffering. Manet, were you worried about your master? I don't blame you. When Miss Yamazaki said that she was sick, I had no idea it would be this bad. Manet had coiled up in my legs without me noticing, and I began absent-mindedly speaking to him. He meowed in response, and our conversation ended there, as my gaze was still fixed squarely on Miss Yui. So, what do I do now, Miss Yui? Are you okay to be alone right now? groan. She wasn't in any condition to respond. But, Miss Yui? Miss Yui's hand was slipping out from under the futon and gently grasping my pant leg. Hey. Sigh. Her grip was much weaker than before, but I knew I'd probably regret it if I went home now. Miss Yui just seemed really lonely. Well, I guess I'll settle in then. Without disrupting Miss Yui's hold on me, I took a seat beside her. For the time being, I figured I'd watch over her to make sure her condition doesn't worsen. Groan, groan. Occasionally, Miss Yui's breathing would become rigid, and she'd furrow her brow. Wow. She was in pretty bad way. Poor thing. Wasn't there anything else I could do? I glanced quietly down the hallway. I'd noticed when I carried Miss Yui here that the kitchen near the entrance was perfectly neat and tidy. There wasn't any indication that it had ever been used that day at all. I wonder if she's eaten anything yet. Monet gazed swiftly suddenly. I followed it and saw pet bowls laid out in the corner of the room. One dish was filled with the brim with water, and the other was piled high with dry cat food. I see, someone's eating well around here, huh? Even delirious with fever, she is still taking real good care of you. But that's not good enough, Miss Yui. You should be thinking about your own meals first. I shook my head at the whole situation, then glanced down at Mane, who was tilting his head as if he was trying to understand me. I broke into a wry smile. When I pulled out of the cold packs, I did notice some cheap convenience store food in the bag as well. I guess that's not going to be her food for the day, not exactly the best stuff to eat when you're sick. There's some rice and eggs at least. Maybe I'll make some egg porridge or something. Miss Yui, may I borrow your kitchen? Her face was bright red, and her half-painted, half-contented noises provided me with no clear-cut answer to my question. Don't worry, I'm going to get much. I'm going to get much out of her. How about you, Mana? Do I have your permission to use the kitchen? Excellent, thank you. Manet's cries helped assurance my guilt over entering a woman's apartment and borrowing her kitchen. Now that I had any reason of feeling guilt, I don't think. Anyways, I mean, circumstances were what they were. Still, I had this nagging sense that I should have somehow felt about what I was doing. Excuse me, please, Miss Yui, I'm going to need to get up. One by one, I gently peeled off each of the fingers lashed into my pant leg. The expression on her face changed as I was doing so, from content rest to mild annoyance, but there was nothing else that indicates that she might wake up. Alright. Let's see what we can do, shall we? As I stood up, Monet meowed happily and began tagging along at my heels. Achoo! And Miss Yui, now resting by herself in the bedroom, let out a sudden sneeze.